Hello and a very good evening to all of you. This is the second session of idioms and phrases. Very happy to get the overwhelming response on the previous videos, and please keep commenting and giving us suggestions on how we can improve them. So we'll start on with the second session, which is going to be the next 10 set of idioms. We had discussed 10 yesterday, and like I told you all yesterday, that there are plenty of idioms in English language. So it's really not possible for us to discuss them all, but maybe it's a good idea to get started with the ones that we are discussing over the sessions. So today we'll start off with the 11th one, which is cry over spilt milk. What does this mean? So this basically stands for, or generally get used for, those kinds of situations where let's say your milk is already spilled, right? So that means we are trying to actually talk about some kind of loss that has happened and you're crying over it. So you're basically unhappy about a loss that has happened. So this idiom means to complain about a loss in the past. So you're basically trying to say that there is something that has happened in the past which you're not very happy about and you're complaining about it. So we'll just see the usage of it over a sentence. The example for this would be, let's say, yes, we made a mistake, but there's no point crying over spilt milk. So what we are trying to say over here is, we know that we have made a mistake. We knew that something has gone wrong, but we don't want to complain about it, right? What's the use complaining about it? So that's when we would like to say that we know that we have made a mistake, but there's no point crying over spilt milk. So that's the usage of this idiom. We'll look at the next one. Like I say, there are lots and lots of idioms, so it's a good idea to get started using them more and more in your day-to-day conversations as much as you can, even in your speeches, in your essays, and whatever you keep writing or talking about, and you can see a visible difference, right? So next one is miss the boat. So what does this mean? So the miss the boat is generally used for a situation where you want to say that somebody has missed his or her last chance. So you just had the opportunity of doing something and at the last moment you just missed it. So आपने गवाया कोई last chance कुछ करने का. That's when you would actually want to use this idiom, miss the boat. So we'll again see an example for this. The discount ended yesterday night. Let's say you were shopping online and there was some discount going on and it just ended yesterday night, you got to know about it. Okay? I think I just missed the boat. So what this basically means is, you knew there was some kind of a discount going on yesterday night, and while you actually had the chance of going online and probably buying it, but you missed the boat, you missed your last chance of buying it. So this is when we use this kind of an idiom. Clear? So this basically means somebody or someone misses his or her last chance to get something or do something. Moving on to the 13th one, which is to steal someone's thunder. To steal someone's thunder. Sounds really nice, right? So what does this mean? This means to take credit for something that somebody else has done. So what this means is, and this happens many times. So what happens is, you did something and you want to take a credit for it, but let's say somebody else took the credit. So that person basically stole your thunder. Let's say you're working on a school project or a college project and you know that you are the one who has probably done the entire project. But one of your friends in your group actually steals your thunder, right? So we'll take an example for this. Apart from the one that we just discussed, someone stole my thunder by leaking my designs on internet. So what this means is, I'm the one who had worked on some specific designs. So I am basically the owner of them, right? But somebody else leaked them and somebody else has put them on the internet, claiming that he or she is the person who has done it. So basically that person has stolen my thunder. That's the usage of this. Steal someone's thunder. Moving on to the next one. Hope it's all clear till now. Taste of your own medicine. An interesting one. Taste of your own medicine means to give someone the kind of treatment, when somebody gives you a treatment that you have probably given them in the past, right? So it's generally used in a negative sense. This actually means something that you have done to someone, something that you have done to someone that is done on you. So let's say you just misbehaved or ill-treated someone in the past and you get a taste of your own medicine when that person treats you the same way. So we'll take an example again for this. Clear, right, what this means? When we take the example, it will become even clearer. Don't be rude to others. Do not be rude to others. You won't like it when you get the taste of your own medicine. Meaning, just what we discussed right now. So if you're rude to others and somebody else actually treats you in a rude way later, so that person basically gives you a taste of your own medicine, meaning the exact same way in which you treated them before. So this means something that you have done to others and this gets done back on you later. Clear? Quickly moving on to the next one. Cost an arm and a leg. Cost an arm and a leg. What does this mean? Very funny, right? This actually means something which is very expensive. That you want to do something, but it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. This is like as good as giving off one arm and one leg of yours. So this means, or this generally gets used when you want to mean that something is very expensive. Very expensive. Let's take an example. I loved the dress, but I couldn't buy it because it will cost me an arm and a leg. Pardon me for writing the short forms of and. We're running short on time. So this means I love some dress which I saw in a shop, but it's so expensive that although I want to buy it, but I can't afford it because if I want to, it will actually cost me an arm and a leg. So this is used for scenarios where we want to say that something is very expensive, right? Next one. Burn the midnight oil. This is pretty simple, doesn't have any hidden meaning. I think it's, you all can guess it, right? Burn the midnight oil meaning when somebody is probably working, reading, or doing anything late till night, right? So read or work late into the night is when you would want to use this idiom. Burn the midnight oil. So many of you might be like studying really hard just before the exams. So what are you all doing at that time? You're burning the midnight oil, right? We'll take an example. Jenny has been working hard on this report. Let's say somebody named Jenny is working on a report really hard, burning the midnight oil. Very clear, right? The usage of it. So whenever you want to use it in this kind of a scenario where you want to say that somebody is working really hard late into the night, that's when you use this, burning the midnight oil. Okay? The next one. Can't judge a book by its cover. Very common one. I'm sure many of you must be already using it, or you must have heard someone use it somewhere. Can't judge a book by its cover. Again, this is pretty simple to guess. What does this mean? So when you buy a book and you don't know what's there inside the book unless you read it, right? But you see the cover is really interesting. So you already form a perception inside your mind कि शायद book बहुत अच्छा होगा. Book के अंदर जो story है वो भी बहुत अच्छा होगा. So, but that might not be true always, right? The book could be bad, the story could be bad inside, or the content might be really bad. So not to judge a book by its cover means not to judge something or anything by just its appearance. By its appearance. You're not supposed to judge something just by its appearance, because something might look good from the outside, but it might not actually be the same inside, right? Let's take an example. The candidate did not look very intelligent. Did not look very intelligent. But we can't judge a book by its cover. Very clear, right? So let's say some candidate has appeared for an interview or come somewhere, and after some kind of an interaction, लगता नहीं है कि वो intelligent है. But again, you cannot judge him just by his outward appearances, right? So that's when you would want to use this kind of an idiom. Cannot judge a book by its cover. That means you cannot judge anyone or anything just by its outward appearance. Clear? Moving on to the next one. Piece of cake. Piece of cake is something which we use when we want to mean something which is very simple to do, something very easy to do, something very easy or simple, right? We'll take a quick example. Example, the engineering interview seemed like a piece of cake. Seemed like a piece of cake, meaning the interview was so easy that I felt that it was almost like a piece of cake. Got the usage of it, right? So piece of cake means something which is extremely easy or simple to do. The next one, once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon. We use this idiom or phrase very often when we want to say something that happens very rarely, right? So this means some rare occurrences. Some rare occurrences. कोई भी चीज़ जो बहुत ज़्यादा frequent नहीं होता है, तब हम इसको use कर सकते हैं. Once in a blue moon. Let's take an example. Let's say earthquakes in this part of the earth happens once in a blue moon. So what we want to say over here is earthquakes basically don't happen very frequently. They are very rare occurrences. बहुत कम होता है. So that's when we want to use this kind of an idiom, once in a blue moon, right? The moment you remember the examples that I'm giving you all, you'll actually remember the usages of all of these idioms. So that's the only reason that I'm actually explaining all of them with their usages in form of sentences. Moving on to the next one. Beat around the bush. Beat around the bush. What does this mean? This means when you have a topic of discussion or somebody wants to talk about something, but that person is not talking about the main topic, but he's just talking about all other things apart from the main topic. तो जब आपके पास एक बुश है, आपको बुश में मारना है, पर आप वहाँ नहीं मार के आजू बाजू हर जगह पे मार रहे हो. That means you're not talking about the main topic and you're talking about everything else apart from the main topic. So this means avoiding the main topic. Very simple. Avoiding the main topic. And an example for this would be, why don't you stop beating around the bush and come straight to the point, right? Very clear. इसका मतलब ये है कि आप आजू बाजू के टॉपिक के बारे में बात मत करो और मेन टॉपिक पे सीधा आओ. So that's when you would want to use this kind of an idiom, beat around the bush. So we learned quite a lot of idioms today and even yesterday. I hope you remember them all and try using them in your sentences and in your writing as much as you can. It's really glad to know that all of you are liking the videos and following them. Let's catch up with you tomorrow with one more interesting topic. Thank you.